Welcome back to the Unanimous Decision Podcast. I am your host, DPalm. Follow me on Blue Sky. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on all the socials at DPalm66. Follow the show at UDPod. Follow the entire MTR network at, you guessed it, the MTR network. You found us. Don't you dare lose us. Subscribe on iTunes. Subscribe on Spotify. Subscribe anywhere you get your podcast for free $99. Subscribe on YouTube. That's right, YouTube dragging this podcast in 2015, one episode at a time. As always, brought to you by the good folks at the MTR network. All their offerings are out there for you to listen to. Also brought to you by DanielPalmerMortgages.com. If you can afford your rent, you can afford a mortgage. It's my job to help you qualify. Make sure you check out my other podcasting venture, Life, Love, and Real Estate with my podcasting partner, Miss LaCressa Amaro. We work together here in Atlanta, putting people into homes. We'd love for you have you hear about how to make that happen for you in your life. But that's not why you're here. You're not here to talk about houses. You're here to talk about sports. And you're here to talk about sports with my man, Nata. What up, Nata? How's it going,
dude? Bro? What's going on? I'm ready to talk about how a whole lot of people that think Adam Silver. Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready to brag on the NBA. I am ready to evangelize on the NBA.
How are you, friend?
I'm good. I am good. I am good. I'm ready to talk some shit, though. I'm not going.
I want everyone listening. Like, this is not, again, I'm really glad Joel was here last week so that you guys can see that he's not, none of what he does is a bit. Nothing but Nata does is a bit either. He came in here and was like, so who dunking on? I'm like, can we let's relax. It's a long show. We'll get to the dunking. Let's just have a nice conversation.
I have a lot of stamina built up for this one. Yeah.
That means you're having a much different first few months of fatherhood than I did, because stamina was not present for arguments.
Child care. Look, there's a lot of stuff that you can do when you're feeding with the bottle. Let's put it that way. When you're bottle feeding, there's a lot you can do. You can multitask if you know how to do it right.
And one day we'll be able to source like brain rot back to a bunch of kids being born. It's like, oh,
yeah,
the parents are trapped. That's
nap trapped, bottle trapped. Yeah.
You know what we've started doing?
What do we?
We're not very good at it yet, but we'll have entire nights where we're like, just put the phones in the charger and just exist without the phones. And it has, and the fact that it takes a concerted effort.
Yeah,
for people who we didn't grow up with it. Like, I was talking about this. I was on the Insanity Check 2 weeks ago, and one of the reasons they want to kill my generation off is because we're the last people to remember a world before the internet,
cell phone. Yeah, exactly.
Well, the internet was ubiquitous, and now these people who have now come of age behind us, their life, like our warning signs about AI, they're like, why would you even ask such questions? And I'm like, why wouldn't you?
Well, yeah. Well, to be fair, there are some of us in our generation that did a horrible job of reaching up and pulling up the generation behind us.
In our defense, we were taught don't trust anybody. And
that's true. Shout out to Stone Cold. DT
was being taught the exact same thing. We looked up and like, wait, you trust everybody, don't you, son? Like, wait a second, time out.
Yeah, exactly.
We thought don't trust everybody was an axiom we could all get behind.
Exactly.
Because like you think about the movies of our youth, who were the bad guys? Who were the bumbling idiots? The fucking police. And now it's like the good cop was a genre of movie. The competent police officer was a genre of film. And now it's like we back the blue. I'm like, we agreed 20 years ago these were dingbats, and like the
SVU-ification of America.
An unforeseen, unintended consequence of Olivia Benson's long, hard-fought battle against sexual exploitation in the great city of New York. I will not have it reduced to just propaganda, because it is. You're not wrong. It's beautiful propaganda. It is propaganda that's so good that I am me, and I watch Law and Order every Friday night as like a relaxation show. I'm like, oh, the new one's on streaming, thank God.
Yeah. Again, between that and Chicago PD,
I don't even go that far. I'm at least loyal. I watch Vanilla and I watch SVU, and then when Stabler has his series, I'll dip my toe in. But like, those are my three propaganda.
Look, they cuss on organized crime now. I get it. They cuss on organized crime.
Stabler say fuck, man.
Exactly.
It works.
It works. It brings you. It tickles the odds vibe.
That should be the whole promo. What if Stabler could say fuck? Come on down to Peacock.
Exactly. It works perfect. Again, you would get every single 35 and up person like, oh, I'm gonna at least watch one episode.
Honestly, like that's how I should sell it to people. Like you watch those shows, like, yeah, man. Let's say fuck. Oh, really? Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
everyone who knows would know. I think that's a really good selling point. All right, we did our nice preamble.
Yes, we did.
Can I set it up for the listeners before you just
Yes, you may.
atomic bomb them? Okay, so
yes,
Nata and I have been having this conversation. This is episode like 380 something of this podcast, which is insane. After getting to 200 with Doogie podcast, you and I, the entire time we've been doing this, have been like driven insane by the negative way the NBA has been covered. Earlier this year, we celebrated because having new media partners meant there had to be new voices at the table, which meant that the Amazons and Peacocks of the world, or NBC, if you will, were taking their swing at this product and licensing very seriously with a lot of supportive things, and they covered the NBA in a way that you and I both thought was an evolution in the right direction. With the All-Star game approaching and some truly atrocious tanking occurring. Yes. I will end up on that.
Yes.
Some of this shit's happening. We'll talk about that after the All-Star game, but we will talk about it. Some truly atrocious tanking that's occurring. That became the old siren song of, how do we fix the All-Star game? How do we make the players care? Why don't they care? Which, okay, so I'm setting you up, I promise. The fact that the players felt bold enough to make them say the quiet parts loud.
Yo, that's the best
why
part.
Why is it the sport of black millionaires that you question if they're too lazy or don't care? We don't hear about the baseball game. They don't give a fuck about the baseball game. We don't hear about baseball, about how un-American and how, because there's so much Spanish on the field, Nata, but we'll talk about that later. We don't talk about Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl,
which they put on a Tuesday, by the way,
is now flag football, my friends. You may not have known that, because why would you know that? Because it's the Pro Bowl. If you know about the Pro Bowl, seek help. You have a gambling problem. The hockey thing is the hockey thing. They're the most underpaid, undereducated. Like, what do you want me to do? Defend, congratulations. They found because of America's xenophobia, the U.S. versus the world thing worked last year because the country's evil. You grab the zeitgeist and you beat it for money. Congratulations, you craven monsters. And now this latest iteration came, saw, conquered. And now I'm going to ask you directly. Who would you like to demand answers from first? Because I've got a name.
I mean, we could start with Stephen A. Like, again, in between his like obvious
Stephen A. Smith, future Republican primary money grifter.
Yeah. We can start with Stephen A. We can start with a lot. I just want to ask everybody, like, because again, we're going to get to the really funny part about this. Like, shout out to Kevin Durant who had a very wild weekend. We'll get to the rest of it. Shout out for Kevin Durant to pointing out like the most obvious thing ever about Luka and Nikola Jokic not really trying. And I want to say, like, why is Nikola Jokic the only one getting bullets today? Why is he the only one? Because last I checked, now, Paul, let's play a couple of games. I'll ask you a couple of questions. I want you to ask.
I'll play them.
Who was the one player that Brian Windhorst, after getting information during a finals game, said that they got information from his GM and probably his coach that he was unserious after a finals game?
So we're both media nerds, so I know exactly what you're talking about. There was a finals game in the series. Who did
against
they
Boston.
Boston. And game 3, I think.
Yep.
Luka fouls out.
Yep.
And Brian Windhorst gives a screed that you wouldn't hear in December about a player from a national talking head in a post game. To hear it during the finals was, one, jarring, but two,
incredibly sourced.
You've got to be real bold, and you've got to feel emboldened to be able to say that. And I say emboldened because you got to realize that the relationships, the way these things are measured, are in years. And so if it comes to burning a player versus burning a team, they're going to burn the player every time.
Mm-hmm.
That's how media works.
Yes. But needless to say, yeah.
Go on. Yeah.
Needless to say, we've never heard a talking head go incredibly sourced and incredibly pointed information go at a player like that, much less a white player. Much less a white player.
Much less that white player.
Yes. Because everyone was making Luka out. And it was and if anything, it's like the Scorsese film. Like, you know, that one point in Scorsese film where you have all that downfall, where the downfall starts coming after that point. That was the Scorsese downfall of Luka Doncic. Because he's never been perceived the same after that. And I contend that was, now I say that, I ask all that because if we're talking about a guy that probably deserved more bullets than Nikola Jokic, it's Luka Doncic. He's the only guy that loses weight and then isn't expected to play defense.
Sure. I mean, I don't see like why we've got to turn a negative light on someone else. Like, if you want to talk about players on defense, Jalen Brunson, like, I can do this.
Yeah, we can do this.
I'm just saying, like, for me, it's more the macro of it all.
Very
it is
true.
the James Harden conversation when he got traded last week.
Yeah.
The conversation was he doesn't care. I'm like, nigga, that is a MVP. If you tell me he can be an MVP without caring, you know what you're saying about his level of ability as a human being to say that he's an MVP without caring. To say that these guys aren't competitive has always been a lie. Because you know what? You and I are the age where we watched those 90s games. We watched Michael Jordan play 36 holes in the morning and then go drop 40 in an All-Star game. You know why he did that? Not because he's Michael Jordan, because no one else gave a shit either. Like, the thing about it is the game changed. So what it used to be was, this used to be a vacation weekend where you had very few obligations. You do a couple media things. And it was the opportunity for us as fans to watch players we don't see interact. There are no more walls. There's no more mystique around, I wonder if these guys interact. We watch them DM each other. We watch them tweet at each other. Watch them have side chats with burner accounts. Again, we will get to that. There's no mystique about their relationships anymore. So two, you've massively over corporatized this weekend. So let's say you're a player who just wants to chill, dog, who just wants to take his little league mandated break from work, mind you, and go, hey, except you're good enough, you got to go to this other working weekend. Because you don't just work for the NBA, you work for your team, you work for your sponsors, you're at parties you don't want to be at, you're at things you don't want to do. It is a weekend that is turned from, here's a reward for your hard work, to guess what, we could really use you signing autographs for at least an hour here. Like, it's
a trade show. It's a giant trade show.
Not to turn them into indie wrestlers, but like, they're indie wrestlers that weekend.
Yeah.
They're curtain jerking. They're putting up the ring. Like,
it's Mania weekend, and that's the independent show. That's what this season.
Into so much more than, why don't they come to the All-Star game? If I was promised a break and you turned it into this, I wouldn't be excited either.
Like, the thing that I don't understand is, like, we have to understand that the NBA All-Star game has not been for the regular fan for 20 years.
Easy.
And I might be underselling how long it's never been that. Like, the most fan-friendly event is the rookie showcase and the celebrity game. Those two are it. After that, everything is corporate as hell. And if you don't look at this as a trade show, if you look at this as a fan event, I have free reign to call you a moron. I'm sorry. It's 2026.
If you had under 15 minutes now, they're calling listeners morons. Collect your winnings at the window.
They took that one off the books. The minute I said I was ready to dunk on people, they should have taken that shit off the books. Come on now.
Look, I hear what you're saying, and you're not wrong. I will say this. This used to be my favorite weekend of the year.
Fair. But then you grew up, right?
Well, no, there we go. I was in high school, and this weekend was always like around the weekend of state finals. So I was always wrestling, and like I'd get home from wrestling, I'd be like, oh, good, the All-Star game's on. Like, that was always fun for me. In college, it's Valentine's Day weekend, and Hey, I gotta work at the bar. You know, hey, it's extra money in my pocket. I gotta work, and
I
I
gotta
gotta
watch the
post up and watch
dunk
the All-Star
contest while
game.
I'm working. Yeah.
Exactly. I get paid to watch the dunk contest. This is great. And then like of course life gets busier, but this weekend it occurred to me I watched 0% of the weekend. And then I tuned in, I caught the replays of the games today as I was
Yeah.
working from home, and I was like, wow, this is wild to me because in a vacuum, this is the perfect All-Star weekend that they've ever wanted. Because
Mm-hmm.
they have to showcase the young stars of the NBA who went the American young stars, which is the question that we've all been kind of like asking is like, wait, where is the next wave of American talent? It's here. It just won the All-Star game. And more to the point, this should be a national red alert. I want everyone at battle stations. Wemby's coming to LA in a couple of years for the goddamn Olympics. We just won a gold medal on his home court. You think he's not coming? It could be Wemby, me, Nata, and a bunch of other dudes, and I'd still be like, we might be the favorite, dog. You saw how
I'm not
mad he
worried.
was when they missed when
Oh
they didn't
no.
close out that three.
But also remember that was Cat. He was like, you put me on a team with Karl Anthony Towns and expected him to defend. I'm pissed at the officials, and he should be. I get why he was mad.
And this is further proof that if whatever problems you may think you have with the All-Star game, all you really need is one psycho.
Yeah.
All you need is one.
Dog. And the funny part is, wait till Cooper is healthy enough to go. Then you have another psycho. Like this is like
you want time out. You want to see psychos? Let Chet make an All-Star team.
Dog.
Let Chet make an All-Star team. When people like, we want a one-on-one tournament right now. Fuck a tournament, actually. Just me and Chet are gonna play for 3 hours for All-Star Saturday night.
And they just and again, NBC sitting there like, let that motherfucker run. Let the cameras run. We don't care.
Did you see the number?
Oh, I did. That's the other portion of this. That was hilarious.
Best All-Star number since 2011.
Can we like? And this is
the back the fuck off of Adam Silver, dog.
People keep acting like he doesn't know what he's doing, dog. Like that's the thing I don't understand. How many times does he have to get this right before he gets the benefit of the doubt? Or how many times does the NFL have to copy what the NBA is doing or adapting what the NBA is doing before we start admitting, hey, maybe the NBA has a lot of this stuff right?
What kills me is that people are like, this would be different. David Stern was there. Who do you think David Stern's like his Robin was? Dog?
Underboss.
Like,
yeah.
If like this is like not even Robin. This is Bucky to Captain America, because like Captain America in the comics, he was still the shining light and during the war. Yeah. Bucky was out there cutting throats in the night, dog. Like this was his Bucky. And like excuse me. I think it's crazy that people had questions about this. Can we talk about some other things that came out of this this All-Star weekend?
Let's do it. Yes.
Have you seen the Ant-Man clip?
You mean the one where he says he's coming home?
I can't wait to get home. I got just so many wings, man.
Yeah.
Bring Ant-Man home. And honestly, Nata, I want to make one very clear admission, like on the front end of this. Yes. There are some guys who probably shouldn't go back home.
He's one of them.
And a lot of those guys are from Atlanta. And I think
he's one of them.
He's definitely one of them. But it'll definitely get me more home games. So selfishly, I don't want it to happen. And
I don't want it to happen for him.
Good idea? No, it's a terrible idea for him.
It's a terrible like Minnesota. He needs to be in Minnesota for his career.
He's out here prepaying 18 years of child support.
Yeah, might as well.
In Minnesota.
Yeah.
These are the shenanigans he's getting into in Minnesota.
Yeah.
No, he can't come home, pimp. Sorry, dog. Can't go back All-Star. I'd love to have you selfishly. But like
Adam Silver Adam Silver has to. Adam Silver
basketball reasons.
No.
Can't happen.
Nope. Can't happen. Nope. We can't have that.
No.
Like again, Nick Cannon's record is up for grabs if he comes home.
However, if he does it, I'm gonna need Netflix cameras on him. I'm gonna need round the clock coverage this motherfucker, man.
No.
Yes, because guess what? His shortcomings are partying and women. And Atlanta's got that in abundance. His shortcomings aren't like tiny guns, Ja. Like, I'm okay with these shortcomings. Like,
he's going to end up looking like Gucci Mane. And I'm talking about the big Gucci man, the leaned out Gucci man.
Look.
I'm just saying.
Dwight Howard shouldn't have come home.
Well, we all knew that was a bad idea.
Fine-ish. Everyone's alive.
Wait, fine. By finest, you mean he was only there for 1 year and then they shipped his ass off?
Well, give me a year and at home. What's the best that could happen? Everyone says the worst. That's horrible. Don't think so negatively. What's the best that could happen if Ant came to Atlanta?
6 seed.
Fuck you. Like that was mean and uncalled for.
But accurate.
It's not accurate. You are a hater.
Yes, it would.
You're a hater because your team looks good right now. I don't want to talk about that shit because I'm talking about good basketball team. How the fuck dare you? Let's move on. That was rude as hell. I was having a good moment. Ant-Man coming to Atlanta, baby. I'd be buying one of them throwbacks. I'd have an Edwards throwback. I would buy one.
Yes, you would. But here's the thing.
What you've done. You've ruined it.
Yeah. By splashing the cold, hard water of reality on you. 6 seed. You know I'm right too. That's the best part. Secretly.
I don't have to listen to such things from a Hornets fan.
Hey, number 5 net team in the league and been one of the better teams since December.
If the first stat you tell me is one I got to look up, my brother in Christ, I do not care.
I know. It's okay.
All right. I have, you know what though? I'm glad you talked about the Hornets because y'all have done something that I am cheering for on every level. You realized that all the quantification horse shit, it's a lie. Only one team can win. So it's either bottom out or maybe you have a fun basketball team. And goddamn it, y'all got a fun little basketball team, brother.
When everyone keep and it's something. And shout out to Rod Morrow, a black guy who tips, who points this out. We have social media in general has flattened the discourse of basketball to where there are only 2 outcomes. Like you said, you bottom out or you're a title contender. And there's an entire middle of the road that I am very, very happy the Charlotte Hornets embody at this point. And the biggest thing for me, at least, is that this team is fun. They compete. They're willing to fight. We found that out. The only portion that I wish could change is a certain power forward on my team that I wish wasn't. And if he was gone, I could fully buy in. And I say this knowing that my family has had tickets to the Spectrum Center for the last 20 years. I say that to say, this is a fun team. The nerds are wrong. We need to start embracing, hey.
You know the worst thing that happened to the Hawks?
What was the worst thing?
Eastern Conference final run?
Yeah.
Because they were thinking, man, we could do it. When the lesson actually is, man, wasn't that shit fun?
Yeah.
Wasn't that fun?
Oh, that's the thing. The Hornets have never been to the Eastern Conference Finals ever.
Might as well have some fun.
Have fun with this.
I grew up on Mookie Blaylock and Steve Smith, man. Those games were fun.
I went to 31 home games. No, I'm sorry. It was 7-59. No, I'm sorry. I went to 24 of the 31 home games of the 7-59 season. I am enjoying this.
That's some weird self-loathing, actually. That's different. I'm not.
Are you really surprised?
Are you really surprised?
Are you really surprised that I have that level of self-loathing? Are you really that surprised? Are you really that surprised?
That's like if I was still a Falcons fan. I'm so glad I stopped that shit. Ugh.
Yeah, no,
Shawshank. I'm free.
Are you really surprised knowing me as long as you have that I have that level of self-loathing?
I can't believe you're still right about these people. If I had through 7-59, I pretend the team didn't exist.
Someone had to use those tickets.
Couldn't give them one.
No. Someone had to go. And damn it, I went.
Oh,
because again, the upgrades were like $5, and you could get basically not front row, but close.
Yeah, close
whole
enough.
Different era.
Close
Exactly.
Like Muggsy, oh man, y'all had some fun players too. It used to be fun. You can still have a fun team unless you trade Trae Young for spare parts. I'm like, guys, now we're the scrappy team fighting into it. Cool. That's not very interesting at all. You know what's fun? A tiny dude with wispy hair shooting threes for no good reason. That's fun.
Sir, you have the Pelicans
basketball. Shut up, nerd. I'm gonna stuff you in a locker. Jesus.
You have the Pelicans pick. No one feels sorry for you. No one. No.
I don't know anything about college basketball. I assume it's gonna be that.
No.
I'm not doing this with you again. You're not gonna pretend to make me care about this. I refuse.
All I'm saying is I don't feel sorry for you when you end up with like either the Bansa or Darren Peterson. I'm going to text you cursing you out because you have now, again, him, Jalen Johnson, and that other pick that you guys have are going to be in a really good position where it's fun again. You might actually buy tickets.
Those names are real people.
You'll know. You'll know by then.
Well, let's talk about this too. This is something that came up over All-Star Weekend. It's come up before. The idea of abolishing the draft. So let's talk about this. And I'm the first one to defend the NBA when I think things are being lied about in the media. I think that the All-Star kerfuffle, the conversation piece of the last few years has immediately turned, has been manufactured and overblown. And I'll defend the league when I think that's right. When they're wrong, they're fucking wrong. Whatever they've done to this system is fucking wrong. Because I'm watching Utah winning third quarters and benching everyone to tank out.
Yeah.
It can't be that. So an idea that was brought up years ago by I think originally Bo.
David
Dennis Jr. gave some life to it this weekend. And everyone was like, you guys are crazy. Draft abolition, that could never work. Meanwhile, if I went to college and graduated top of my class, it was like, congratulations, you're going to the worst company in America. I would think this is horseshit. So in a country where you claim to be so capitalist, how about you give these kids some agency? So what they're saying is, hey, let's abolish a draft and enter a sort of free agency where teams are given an amount of money to bid on the draft pick. I'm all for it, personally.
I want people to understand how easy this could be. Like, are there downsides? Yes.
Tons.
The biggest one is, again, what if you have now you're enabling guys like Ballmer? That's the only one that I'm willing to hear.
And guess what? They're already enabled.
Exactly. They're already enabled. Like, but people are like, oh, like, now can we talk about like the dumbest narrative about this? Like, oh, everyone's going to go to major markets. They don't even do that shit in college right now.
That's not how that works.
No, it's not. Duke has more money than anybody else.
Attractive, and guess what? If I was a free agent, and guess what? Maybe you shouldn't put your team in fucking Utah. Maybe that was your mistake. About a black sport in Utah, that was your first fucking mistake. But I've seen it work for Dallas. Maybe it'll work for you. Dallas has a lot of white lineups. You guys should look into that.
Yeah.
Like historically, it's very weird. Actually,
very weird.
Not weird if you know who they're trying to get in the building. Anyway, I was a little bit too honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, but you're not like this is.
It's the simplest answer because as long as you have a draft lottery, you have these quants guys in the front office that are going to find ways to exploit all of this. You have to remove all the incentives possible. And as long as there is a draft, it's going to be exploited in some way or another. You have to get rid of all the exploitations to it. The only way to do that, theoretically, is through free agency. Make yourself an attractive place. Like, fun story about the Hornets. Under Michael Jordan, their medical staff was probably somewhere in the 1980s. They didn't until Rick Schnall and Gabe Plotkin took over and modernized everything. So when we see the improvement of the Charlotte Hornets, a bunch of it has been back of house stuff. If your back of house stuff is not in order and players do not sign, through this, you would be creating a better workplace. Through this, you would be creating so much more of a better product because everybody would be forced to be on their P's and Q's. No, Nike is not going to get involved because guess what? They're already involved with these guys in these location-based deals. Trust me. And more importantly, I think it was Dragonfly Jones that pointed this out on Twitter. He was like, what was the last big NBA free agent signing? It might be Kawhi. And that was, 7 years ago now?
Yeah, 2019.
2019. Before that, it was LeBron. Those are the last two. Free agency doesn't exist in the way you seem to think it is. People are going to want to go play. They're going to play in Utah, and they're going to play in Utah because guess what? The first contract doesn't matter in the NBA.
Nope.
The second one always does. And you can't get to that second contract if you are playing in the 8th, 9th, 10th position in like you suppress everything. You're never going to make the money you think you're going to make. Right. So a lot of this is just so stupid and it's so backwards. And if you just took the 5 minutes to game this out, it works in a better way than you think.
So I've got two things to want to piggyback. One, I don't want to get bogged into it, but the NFL successfully sued the NFLPA from stopping doing those annual report cards. No one talked about it this week. Or maybe they did. I've been very busy. But
those things are getting leaked.
Oh.
Those things are going to get leaked.
No shit. But the fact that this had to come down to adjudication, the fact that the law found on the side of the employer is not surprising to anyone who's petitioning anything in this country. It's just, I just want to put that out there because this is how you make those grades reflect the product. Because you mentioned something when you were talking about that quantified basketball. What happened was these losers, these fucking nerds who ruined my game, they calculated that selling a fan base hope was more profitable than having a fun team.
Yeah.
We need to up in the calculation.
Yeah. You have to get them out.
Team, I can attract a player to come to Charlotte. You might say, oh, why wouldn't you want to go to Boston? So I can sit? Dog, these, like you said, these motherfuckers want to play.
And they want to get paid. They want to get paid. That rookie scale contract is always going to be there. That second contract, that rookie max, that's not always there.
Yeah.
That's not always there. You have to earn that. Or else you're going to be playing for the mid-level for the rest of your life.
There's going to be more missed cases, but there's going to be a lot of big swings too. And a lot of players who'll be able to, like you said, find different paths to being the next player, to being us. Yeah. When your team wins the All-Star like round robin thing, it's not a surprise because it's names that you're more familiar with because they're not toiling in obscurity because they were sent there because the team was poorly managed.
Like I was thinking about this. I was thinking about like this, and people say that, the big markets will always get the generational stars. Cool, that's gonna happen anyway. But the Dames, the Jaws, the Jalen Johnsons of the world, the guys that if you have the proper staff to develop, like the Zach Randolphs that really found his way in Memphis on his fourth team, those guys are your franchise guys. Those are the guys that you end up retiring jerseys after. You're not
bad example, but same spirit. The Jailblazers.
Yeah. Like it's just like again, we got to stop focusing on the fact that you're missing out on the generational star. Yeah, that may be true, but that's just one big joker. If you get a whole bunch of high spades, it evens out eventually. You're going to
have some fun, and you might even win some fucking games.
And you might actually make the product better to where, hey, the play-in, that might be the most entertaining thing. And we start talking about that in the manner we start talking about the NFL wildcard games. I do think that we're headed this way. I truly do believe we're headed this way. I just don't think it's going to be as soon as people think it is.
What are the storylines you're watching for the home stretch of the NBA? We got like 23 games left.
OKC looks vulnerable, dog.
Like it's been really interesting to see them go from this like they may win 80 to like, ooh, like they dropped their 12th like sometime in January, and the Warriors didn't drop their 12th till like late April that one year, and so like it's very interesting to see. What do you attribute that to? Is it just long season? And the thing that I think is very much underblown is when you make those deep playoff runs repeat back to back, that's essentially adding a half season to your resume, to your body.
I wonder just that back end of that bench. They're overextended, quite literally. I like Aaron Wiggins. I'm not sure Aaron Wiggins is supposed to be playing as many minutes as he has. I like AJ Mitchell. Same thing.
Does that tighten up as we hit the home stretch, just kind of natural evolution of the season, or do you think that's a rotation that's going to be necessary as you head into these waning weeks?
I don't know who's going to be healthy on that team. That's the other portion of this. Like, you tell me that SGA is going to be healthy down the stretch, cool. Then I'm not going to worry. But I still think they get out of the West but it's a lot tighter than we think. And again, I say that knowing that they added Jared McCain for basically free.
Yeah, but also like people say tighter, like you say tighter. Last year they went 7. They went 7 against
Denver.
The Nuggets. They went 5 or 6 against the Timberwolves. They ended up going 7 against the champs or against the Pacers. So like tighter than last year that's within the margin for error.
But I would argue that at least in the East, I don't see a team as good as Indiana from last year.
Let's finish out the West because I'm just disagreements there. Staying in the West, who's going to challenge them at all? Because
that's my other thing.
The finals, the All-Star Game MVP, he wants to come home, and I want to bring him home, but he should stay where he is because I think he could go toe-to-toe with that team, and particularly down the stretch if they're looking a little, not flimsy, but like you said, injured. That could be if you're injured and you get Ant-Man on the wing, like you've got problems, like serious problems.
My question is, what do you do with Rudy in a series? Behringer's not ready yet. You see what I'm saying?
Like Rudy's like that. I do not believe that you cannot play Rudy Gobert down the stretch in a playoff game. I refuse to mentally accept it based on everything I know about sports, athleticism, and competition. I refuse to accept it. Now, does he make the most sense in some lineups? Of course not. But there is something to be said when things get tight. Where does OKC like to go when things get tight? They don't live out 3. They go mid-range, they go inside. And if I know that's where you'll go in crunch time, then Rudy's got a place on my floor.
Then my other question is, what happens when they do Chet at the 5 to close games?
Chet's on the floor. Or Rudy's on the floor.
Like, that's the question. Like, can you cross match
but the
well
thing
enough?
Is, if it's a tight enough game, do you trust Chet to be the closeout guy down the line on the interior paint? Because I do not.
I do not. Well. How many minutes is he playing?
Is mitigated by the other talented players on this team. And I'm not saying that you don't have to not account for Chet. I am saying that in crunch time, we can be as cutesy and like, oh, we know who's getting that fucking rock.
We do.
Okay.
We do, but also we know he trusts Chet to bury corner 3 or an above the break 3.
If Chet beats me, okay.
Man, I don't know about that.
Aren't you tired of losing that? Are you tired of losing that little fellow? Ain't y'all tired of it yet?
Fair.
I still can't believe no one shot Steph Curry.
This is also true. This is also very true.
Like, hey man, you can hit all this shit you want. You do that shit in my face again, we're going to have a problem, Stephen.
Man, like Minnesota's the only. But you're right, Minnesota. Like, I would put Denver.
And if my biggest problem is crunch time, what do I do with Rudy? I'll take those problems.
Fair. So, what do you think of Denver? Do you think Denver gets healthy enough?
Denver got old fast. I think the Malone thing was more disruptive than they're admitting.
Yeah. Both Malone and Booth, like Booth blew a lot of picks.
That book's going to be awesome in like 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry for young listeners. Books are collections of words on pages. I feel like it's necessary.
Yes.
Let's go east. Eastern storylines. So you think there's no one out east who even gives you like secondary pause? I'm going to counter with 2 teams that have.
Is one of them Boston?
No, fuck you and fuck them. The 2 are Midwestern teams. They're Cleveland, where James Harden is he's not even your Robin, he's your Nightwing. And if James Harden's my Nightwing, motherfucker, let's go. And it's the continued evolution in Detroit, where I don't know where their ceiling is because I don't think they know.
I can't argue with you on Cleveland because I think a pick and roll of Harden.
I'm sorry, but like people don't account for how strong James Harden is, and if he's your third guy,
that Harden Mobley pick and roll is going to be utterly devastating.
Nuts.
So I give you them,
and then you also reclaim the Donovan Mitchell off minutes.
Yeah,
like that's a huge spot. Like the people are like, oh, the beard. He flames out everyone. I'm like, no. You don't seem to understand here. He's not being asked to be the beard here. He's being asked to be an evolved version of OKC James Harden.
Yeah. and Kenny Atkinson can coach.
Oh, he can coach.
He can coach. Like, I'll give you Cleveland. Detroit, I wonder, like, the biggest thing I wonder is, do they have enough shooting and can they score enough? I know.
Detroit's my huge asterisk where it's like, I don't actually know what they can do. I think they don't know. Like, it's one of those things like, we built it. We just don't know what it looks like when we redline it. We don't know its limits.
But
it could fall apart. It could
Cade Cunningham is a bad motherfucker. Let me just say this now. Cade Cunningham is a very bad man that probably should be higher in the thought processes of the NBA. Much, much higher. Like top 7 guy.
If I were a different man, I'd be inclined to make a little bit of money on him down the stretch. I'm betting on him every night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there anyone else? So you brought up Boston. I hate that you did. Jason Tatum, sit your ass down.
He's not. I think he should. He's not. If he comes back, like, there's the team.
Advisement gap in this country.
Sir, what gave that away?
All the NIL stuff, but this is the latest one.
Yeah, yes, what gave that away? I don't think he should come back. I don't. Again, Halliburton's not even coming back this year.
For what?
To be fair, with that team, with the way Jaylen Brown is playing, even if you get 20 minutes of Jason Tatum a night.
That's 20 minutes away from someone affecting the chemistry that you built this season. I say you ride this iteration as long as you can and take an off-season and reintegrate them. They've found something here that works. It's crazy, but it works.
It does, but also they're the type of team that I worry about against. Like, if I'm Detroit, that's the team I don't want to see in a 7-game series.
But that's also
even with if Tatum sits, they're not a team I want to see.
But there's a ceiling on this Boston team, with or without Tatum. This is not a championship team right now, correct?
Who are they seeing out west? OKC, no. East. Oh no, I think they can. I think
Boston?
They can.
As currently constituted.
Yes. As currently constituted. That crazy town watching
Tatum, their likelihood goes down, in my opinion.
That crazy town watching dude is a top 3 coach in this league. I trust them to figure something out.
I struggle to take him seriously, and maybe
I know.
Maybe that's on me.
Well, he does that. There's a bunch of this that I think is absolutely an act, and I think he does that intentionally just to take all the.
This is like me having Joel on the show. Like, it's like I need people to see that none of this is an act. I don't believe you can. Maybe some of it's played. Maybe it's like I'm a wrestling. Some of it turns to 11, but like, he's a fucking weirdo.
To be fair, he is from West Virginia. To be fair.
Who's the other famous coach who's from West Virginia?
Who, Nick Saban?
Another fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Which means he might be more likable in private than I ever could imagine. But it also means he's as weird as I think he is.
Yeah.
It means that none of this is a bit. I didn't know he's from West Virginia until you told me. Now I believe all of it. None of it's a bit.
Yeah, the more I think about it,
You're adding levels of calculation to a man from West Virginia.
Hey, I can't. I gotta be nice. Like,
I will paint with a broad brush.
My father-in-law.
Come at me.
My father-in-law's from Morgantown. So yeah,
I'm proud of you for finding the internet. I'm prouder of you for finding this podcast. Come at me, Mountaineers, at DPalm66. That's right.
Stop it.
We're starting beef with entire states.
Stop it.
If they have running water or internet. Now,
they do.
Just right. It's funded by the coal industry.
Yes.
Let's get out of the NBA. Let's go to the W real quick because I have an announcement for you, Nata.
Mm-hmm.
They may kill this motherfucker.
What do you mean?
So I can bring Unrivaled to a pod system and run it concurrently, like run back-to-back seasons of Unrivaled. Did you know that tickets for Unrivaled in Philly are more expensive than Sixers tickets?
I knew that. Like, I want us to be very, very careful on this.
That's fine.
I do. I want us to be very careful because, again, here's the problem. They signed to Warner Brothers for that TV deal.
Yep.
David Zaslav is in charge of what you do, TV-wise. That is a very precarious situation that you are involved in. And when you're down 15%, now again, the in-house gate is the best barnstorming tour ever.
Mm-hmm.
And do I believe the W, again, the leadership of the W is really about to kill this golden goose? Absolutely. Especially when you see Brianna Stewart going to Fenerbahce to finish out the season, to finish out their season. Like this, there's a lot of this where, and me and you have made the joke. You've seen me make the joke. See you in 2027 WNBA. And I've
said it from the second it was announced. When we went the season without a ratified agreement last year, I said, "Oh, we're losing a season. There will be a work stoppage." I told everyone like, "You're overreacting." Go, no, there will be a work stoppage. These parties are too far apart, and there's no good way without. There's no way to bridge the gap without someone losing an amazing amount of face.
My concern becomes like do you remember? I think this was 3-4 years ago where Adam Silver was talking about how they should never let negotiations. This is a previous CBI, I believe, where negotiations should never get too personal. I'm wondering when he tells the W owners that, because this has become entirely too personal. They've made a very clear hard line at 15%. I think that is incredibly stupid. I do understand some of it because with the W, and unfortunately, you don't know where the W owner's money ends and the NBA owner's money begins, because you have, I want to say,
as an advocate for labor here, that is not my fucking problem.
That is also a very
that's
interesting.
Those are in-house issues that you need to clean up before you come to a negotiating table with an outside party.
I agree with that.
Your inability to clean up your house is not my problem. Let's get some money on the table.
I don't like. There's a lot of this I don't understand. I do think Unrivaled.
Let's reframe it.
Yeah.
WNBA. So this is kind of the thing Nata and Joel and I talked about last week. The NCAA was never designed to be billion-dollar business.
No.
And that's why I have the problems we have right now. The WNBA was designed as a tax write-off for owners.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah.
So your tax write-off, the thing you thought you built, it evolved. It changed almost overnight.
Yes.
Into a thing that, this tax write-off has like autonomy and like value. And it grew in a way and at a rate that we never foresaw. And so for me to say, oh, I'm concerned about the owner's future projections, motherfucker, you couldn't have bet on this. So for me to say like that the owners should be the paramount concern of the outcomes of this negotiation would be intellectually dishonest for me, because we're not here because the owners manage the product well.
Very
true. Because the product outperformed their limitations.
Also very true. Like, I don't want to bet against these players. Let me just get this straight. I don't bet against these women. They have entirely too many options.
They turned a Senate seat in Georgia.
Yes, exactly. They turned a Senate seat. I don't bet against these women. I will not. I do wonder at what point relying on Turner and Netflix, again, what will eventually be Netflix money, I wonder how that works out long term.
Well, and that's the thing that gets me, is that we're seeing more and more evidence that the old guard leadership who would have earlier established these terms is more riddled with fakes and pedophiles than we ever could have imagined.
Very true.
So
very true.
There's something to be said about these women who built their own thing, who have developed their own thing, who put themselves in this position. For me to say, oh, I hope they've got a plan, is paternalistic and ahistorical. So,
oh no, I'm
not saying you were. I'm just saying that if I see the curves that can come, I guarantee they've got a plan in place.
So do they. They have very smart people.
I cannot say that confidently about the other side of being ownership, because they're the reason we're here where we are.
Yeah, they're needed.
And I want to just, the last thing we're going to wrap this podcast up in a second. That two other things I want to talk about. But before we move, you said this, and it was very prescient of you. Unrival's business model is tied to certain media rights obligations that they have in existence in perpetuity. However, Nata, what you don't look at here is the fact that this is a replicable design now.
Yeah, yeah.
We can shatter the unrivaled tomorrow, build something else, and start new relationships. Because you have a united workforce. And that,
I keep waiting.
And that in of itself should be the scariest thing for that corporation who's trying to hold them down. They have a workforce that sees the goal, that can see a vision beyond what's my next contract, because the pugnacious poison of capitalism is that enough money, you will turn a blind eye to your partner's suffering. And enough money, it doesn't matter because, hey, I got mine. However, because you were so slow to grow the WNBA money, they're all in the same fucking boat. If you'd have paid them sooner, they'd have been easier to fracture. And that's the funniest thing about it.
So I will ask you this. The funniest thing is, what do you think the folks over at Project B are thinking right now? Because remember, that's Rich Paul, that's the Saudi PIF backed women's basketball league that's probably sitting back and watching and saying, guys,
you mean who's probably got the organizational documents from Unrivaled?
Oh yeah.
This is what I was talking about. I was trying not to put a name on it, but yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah. This is Project B. Again, Project B could come in here and crush the building. And it's not going to be any PGA Live Golf thing. No. They can legitimately.
We are women's basketball right now.
Exactly. And they're the only ones that probably have enough cachet and cash to take anybody they want from any of these European leagues and dominate tomorrow. Like, they have the money to go get
there's an existential
NBA
threat.
Contract.
There's multiple existential threats aimed at WNBA right now, and how they address them will determine if they exist in a year, which is crazy to me, but it's true because like, I think it's also crazy because you and I grew up in a time where like sports leagues were established unless you were soccer, then you were just kind of lying and laundering money. But like, this would be the first time in my lifetime that I could watch a legitimate sports league, not the XFL or USFL, because again, laundering money. We watch it grow, peak, and die, and understand the entire life cycle. This could be a good case study in like what the future of emergent sports is going to look like. But I'll tell you what it doesn't look like, Nata. It doesn't look like being a biathlete and getting bronze. It doesn't look like taking that bronze opportunity to hop on a microphone and say some shit that you want to get off your chest. Gentlemen of the podcast, if you're still listening this deep in, God bless you. I'm going to give you free game forever. It is possible to step out on your lady and save the relationship. I've seen it happen. It is not possible to embarrass that woman and save the relationship. And my brother in Christ, my biathlete with my... Look, you ski with guns, dog. I don't want the smoke. But I bet it didn't work.
And here's the question I have. What makes you think she doesn't ski with guns?
I don't care what she does.
Look. But they probably do that in tandem. Hey, babe, let's go out for a practice.
If she didn't shoot him when she caught him, he's probably okay.
Until he embarrassed her in public.
But he's all the way in, he's in wherever she's from. And they ain't
he got to come back.
She's got a cool off period, though.
He's got to come back.
Crime of passion 2 weeks later. Sorry, dog. I don't care where it happens.
Speaking of which, you heard about how the Olympic Village ran out of condoms, right?
It's the most athletic, physically fit, high-strung people in the world. Basically confined to quarters. Yeah. There was an interview with a young lady, a figure skater from America, who's like, I'm having the best time. I haven't competed yet. I'm having the best time. Exactly. So, like, good. Hey, man, get y'all's, man. Y'all don't get paid enough for your sports, for the pride you bring your countries. At least have some fun sex that is safe. Last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here, Nata, and a big surprise to no one, Tyreek Hill has been released about the Miami Dolphins.
Garbage in, garbage out.
That's rude. 2 of those seasons, he was the most prolific receiver in the NFL with the Dolphins, leading to the 2 of the best passing years a quarterback's ever seen in recent years. That being said, garbage in, garbage out. Hey, look, man, what do you want me to say? He tailed off near the end, and then his knee got horrifying injury. They're cleaning house in Miami. They're cutting Bradley Chubb. I think they're clearing like 90 or 35.
They're going to cut Tua.
That's expensive. I think they've got the league year starts in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
2 weeks. Yeah, basically, I want to say 10 days. Probably.
Yeah, because it's sooner now. Because that's a whole other day. Needs to be a sport agent thing. That okay. Before we leave, I'm telling my only sports agent story I tell on the podcast.
Yeah.
When I was a sports agent, they changed the league year. They changed the start date on the league year, and because no one at the NFL office noticed that they changed the start date in the league year, no one was in office, and they had to book Radio City Music Hall for the draft. If you'll remember, that's where they had the draft for years. Most recent years, they've gone on a traveling road show where they go, we're doing different towns. The reason they did this is because they fucked up the filing of the league year, and the Rockettes booked Radio City. And that's 1,000% true story, because the NFL, no corporation is as smart as you think it is. And that's my example to end the podcast. Also, Brian Flores has lost. It's been okay to move ahead. Not in arbitration, but in open court. So, in case you're wondering why he didn't get any head coaching jobs, there's your answer.
Dog. So what happens when we get all those discovery filings?
We have to settle. Like, okay, this is very cute and very interesting. This has to settle before discovery, guys. Like, this is getting weird now because eventually someone's got to say something.
Like here's the thing. I keep wondering. About this. Like, is Brian Flores like, yo, we ball. We're not settling. There's not a number you could put on my settlement.
There's not a lawyer in America who would not have been like, hey, buddy, here's the number. It's time to settle.
Fair. But remember, this is also a guy who is upper crust black. He probably got more money than you think he does.
You seem to underestimate how much money they can offer him.
Unless that number's...
Colin Kaepernick went away, didn't he?
Fair. But also, I do think that it's a little different for a guy who made good NFL head coaching money. I do think it's a little different.
Go look up the Colin Kaepernick Nike deal.
Fair. I just...
Because say what you will, I love Colin Kaepernick. I love what he stands for. They paid him enough to go away. They
did. I don't think... Like, it's going to have to start with a B. I would
love if Brian Flores is the one incorruptible, unforsaleable person left in America. I would adore it.
Sir, I don't underestimate.
He's not this singular, magical, history-making human being. I'm going to embrace for him to get broke off of it. Arthur Smith's son works as an assistant coach because he loves football.
Yeah. Ohio again. And he's his offensive coordinator at Ohio State this year.
Is he really?
Yes, he is.
I gotta call it. See, that's I'm bringing up with Felder because Felder's dad's a Steelers guy. So he was very upset when Arthur Smith was gonna be an OC. This is interesting. It's interesting. Now to tell everyone where they can find all your Charlotte Hornets propaganda / musings.
Well, again, it's called Dispatches from Spectrum. It's where I put my musings. I'll probably put some NBA All-Star thing together to write that up because I do have thoughts on a lot of this stuff.
I like it.
Yeah. I have many more dunks on people. And again, shout out to the 8.8 million people that ended up watching the NBA All-Star game, which was 4 times the amount of Pro Bowl. 4 times.
Again, the Pro Bowl is flag football. If you watched it, please seek help.
Needless to say, it's Dispatches for Spectrum for right now until something else comes along, which may or may not be coming. So we'll see. Again, stay tuned.
And watch the space because I'm going to have this idiot on a bunch to talk NBA as we get down the stretch. And have a lot of fun because, look, this is the summer for men of our age, dog. Juvie and T.I. drop songs that are absolute fucking bangers. Like,
dude, the
music
has been really good. If you think if you are 38 and up, the music has been really good for at least
since the clips dropped. Old men were like, "Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
scary." And guess what?
Someone pass me them Jabro jeans. Those are still good.
Unlike some of these youngsters, these motherfuckers can actually rap. Some crazy shit. That's the oldest thing I'm gonna say on this episode of this podcast. Thank you for listening. We'll be back later this week with Felder Friday. As always, brought to you by the MTR Network. Make sure you check out the Insanity Check. The latest episode is out with Ro. Make sure you check out my other podcasting venture, Life, Love, and Real Estate, with my podcasting better half, LaCressa Amaro, talking to you how to navigate all 3. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, subscribe on Spotify, subscribe anywhere you get your podcast for free $99. Go to YouTube, UDPod66. That's the channel. Subscribe, like, comment. I'm going to interact with you people. I promise. There's some shorts up that are taken from the episodes too. I think that's all I've got to say right now. While this thing renders, I'm gonna talk to Nata about WWE 2K26, which apparently I'm gonna be buying. I gotta figure out which version, but that's a conversation for off the air. That was your show. There is no outro. See you guys later this week.